Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. Helping Parents Heal is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone regardless of religious or non-religious background and allow for open dialogue. Attendance today at the Helping Parents Heal meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are very helpful to parents all around the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members who are not able to attend live can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to know about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. And I'm going to turn it over now to Mark Ireland, Shining Light Dad, co-founder of Helping Parents Heal. And Mark is also in charge of the certification process that we use to have Helping Parents Heal approved mediums on our website. So welcome, Mark. Thank you. And I'll ask you to introduce Daniel.
Yeah, thanks, Irene. It's interesting that thing that Carol just read sounded familiar. Of course, I wrote it, so I should. It's been gone through a few iterations, but the mission statement has modified over time. But tonight, I'm pleased to let you know we have a really excellent medium who's agreed to join us, and he's done this several times, Daniel John, and he's one of the people who did go through my program. So he had to go through 5 blind readings for people he didn't know and generate statistically significant results. So that's not an easy thing to do. There are a lot of people who apply for that and don't make it through, but that is what we do, in terms of vetting mediums who would like to be providers for Helping Parents Heal. We look to help and protect our members, and that's one way we do that in that vein. I will say in advance, Daniel is a little bit under the weather. Sometimes that can affect the medium's work, but who knows, maybe we'll get some good messages today as well. And rather, we're going to try a little different format tonight too. What we're going to do is open it up to Q&A, and then I'll pose questions to Daniel. He can answer them, and then if messages come to him through the course of that, it'll just be kind of a organic process, as opposed to doing it the typical way, which is the medium putting out some things and then seeing who latches onto those. I'll turn it over to Daniel now if he wants to take his mute off, to introduce himself, and then we can start the Q&A process. And shortly we'll start looking at the chat board for any questions, and I'll moderate those. So welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Irene. Thanks for having me, guys. I know a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar names, and I am a little under the weather, so I do apologize. It's just a cold, though. Nothing with COVID. But I already do. So just a little background. I've been doing this about 3.5 years. I really enjoy doing this with this group specifically because I think you do a really good job of helping parents heal. And there's a lot of positivity and organization in this group, and I'm very happy to be part of it. I wish I could do it more often, but I do have 3 kids, a full-time job, and then I have my mediumship sessions. So, but I really would like to do this more, as much as I can. I don't even need to open up the Q&A because I do have this funny kid. I think it's male. I'm not really good with the male-female as far as when it comes to spirit, but I do want to thank you guys for having me. And all I ask is for everyone that's in here with a good group of people is have an open mind. And there are things called piggybacking, where if I'm giving a message to someone, you can piggyback on it a little bit. Don't stretch it, but don't try to make it fit. But for some reason, and I still don't understand how, because I'm a very pragmatical, logical thinker, huge skeptic about all this stuff at first. But multiple people can get very specific messages at the same exact time. And I've had some crazy experiences. So I do have this energetic, funny, and I would say Matthew or an M name. I know M, probably half the group in here. I do get the number 13, which is either a day of a month or January 3rd. And they're joking about the clothespin. Okay. And I can't make that up. I can't apply to that many people. A lot of times in groups like this, I get this very specific piece of information that's like, how can we relate to a clothespin? But he's like throwing it at me. I feel it's like it's a male, but if it's female, I'm not good with that. But they're joking about it. I don't know if you lost it or bought some today, or you were trying to hang clothes on a clothesline with a clothespin today, but it's a very specific clothespin. And I also get something about Snoopy. I feel like Snoopy is a symbol for me. As mediums, we have symbols where, like, if they show me, for instance, when I see a raisin, that means California. When I see Twinkies, that means twins. But Snoopy might be a symbol for me. But right now, Snoopy usually has to do with one of the characters. And then the other piece of information is just something with your personality going on. But this energy feels very fun, funny, and joking. And they're like throwing the clothespin at me. And it's about the clothespin. And I think that's the thing that's going to separate. And I would ask you that you connect with the M, with the 13. M is in Matthew, the number 13, like January 3rd or the 13th of a month. And then the
Okay, we've got Robin R., whose son is Matthew and passed on the 13th of January. That sounds pretty close to me. Maybe we should unmute her to see if any of the other stuff makes sense to her.
Okay, I'm going to ask Robin R. to unmute. Okay, Robin, can you speak, please?
Hey. Hello,
Hi,
Hey,
Robin.
Robin.
hear me? Hi,
Sorry for your loss.
thank you. He passed on the 6th of January, but his birthday was the 13th. So
Okay.
he just missed his
So
20th.
it's really interesting, and part of the reason, everyone, why I do this and do it so happily is to kind of let you all know how it works. Again, being a former skeptic about all this stuff, it's not as black and white as you think. I get these symbols, signs, feelings, and pictures. In other words, sometimes they'll give me their passing date, sometimes it'll be their birthday. I've actually had spirit give me their height, literally their height before. So I like when it's a birthday. You know, that's to me a celebration, and we get the M for Matthew. Can you even relate to the clothespin? Do you hang your clothes outside? Did you lose one? Did he used to find them, or did you find them recently? There's something fun or funny about it. Now, I would even go so far as to say that you maybe used to hang your clothes on the line, you used to pull them down. It feels something very fun, and it may have been a while ago. Now, remember, spirit will often mention things of three kinds of nature. One is something you've done recently. Two is usually something that you did really right before or after they passed. And the third is actually something that is like a memory or something like that. And I think this might be the third for you. Did you ever, so I'll walk you through kind of the process, because it doesn't look like you understand the clothespin.
Well, I use clothespins to like bag my chips or whatever, foods.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is it, because is he funny, or like would be the kind of jokester, like kind of talk about he's funny to me, or he's joking about the clothespin. Now don't stretch it, because I want to make sure I really have him. You know, is he a joke?
Yeah. He's a joking kid. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay. Now he's showing me. Now, do you eat Lay's, like original plain old Lay's chips? Like the one.
When I eat chips, that's what I eat.
Okay, perfect. So this is for you. I also want to, and again, I'm sorry for your loss, but I feel strongly, because if you get the name, the birth date, something you use pretty much daily, and that's your chip, I feel like, to me, he's making me feel like there's he's telling me you're going to get a little, not offended, but there's a little bit of skepticism in you. And you may think you're a total believer, but I feel like this is an opportunity for you to believe even more. Now, I don't judge, Matthew 7:1. I'm not a judge person. But I feel like he's like, I feel like I want to show my mom that it's really me and I'm really with her. Why is he showing me the trains? And he's like all excited to show me the train. Now I have a symbol for train, but I want to go with the train first, and then I'll tell you what it means if it's not a literal physical train.
He liked trains when he was young.
Enough to where it was a thing?
Yeah, well, it was Thomas the Tank. and all
Or
that.
Thomas the Train.
He was obsessed with that.
Okay, so it says, okay, now I get emotional. Sorry, I think when there's certain times of like the moon and everything, and I get a little emotional, so I have to like block it. I always joke, why did God choose me to do mediumship? Because I tune into the energy and I get really emotional. I'm trying to block it. My symbol, so not only was he obsessed with the Thomas the Train, it's a 3-part message. One is, and the most important is, thank you for like taking care of me. And thank you for giving me everything I needed. And I feel like you give yourself credit, but maybe you don't give yourself enough credit for that. You are always very supportive and there for him. And like, tell my mom, thank you for that. She knows, but she doesn't know, is what he says to me. The second thing is, my train is a symbol for someone who's passed fairly young. Obvious. That's obvious. You know, sometimes I'll go into a session and I don't know. I'll be on the phone and I have no idea. You obviously look young, so which means your son was young, is young. But when they show me the train, it's kind of like fast. They came in and they went out, and it was to let you know that it's part of the plan. Some parents I talk to understand that, some don't, most do, but it's a reminder to let you know that his absence in the physical world was part of yours and his and God's plan before you even got here. And sometimes I feel uncomfortable saying that, but they tell me that all the time because it's part of the divine plan. Doesn't mean you like it, but he also makes me feel like you've grown so much, which either means you've grown in a short period of time or that it's been a while since he's transitioned. And then the third thing is literally the trains. Okay, so is that what you're saying? So over time, and I don't know how long it's been, but you've slowly started to get okay with looking at pictures or celebrating the life. And it did take some time, but he recognizes, I would say, at least in the past year, that you've been getting better at like, yeah, that's my son, you know, and being a little bit more okay with pictures and things like that. He tells me, explains to me that you've gotten to that point in your grief process. Do you understand this?
Yeah, it's been 8 months. He died just this last January, but it's just recently that I have come to believe that this was the plan. And I have been able just recently to look at old videos and pictures of the family. Yeah. So, yeah.
Why are you showing me that? I don't know how to take this. Is it pink?
Hmm.
All right. So did he like, well, I'm just going to say, do you know Pink Floyd? Have you ever heard of
Mhm.
are you like a fan? Was he a fan? I don't know how old he was. You look young, but
He was 27, and yes, I was a fan of Pink Floyd.
you were, or he was, or both?
I was. He might have been. I don't really know. He could have been. He liked hallucinogens.
Okay, so stick with that. All right, I got to get it into this here. Hold on a second.
You think this might be for someone else, Tom?
No.
Or Daniel?
Oh my,
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, Matthew 13, clothespin, lays. I mean, I feel pretty confident with that for sure, Mark. I don't mean that in a mean way. And then the trains and the message, and it looks like you understood all 3 of those messages from the train, correct, Robin?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, this is definitely for you. Well, let me just explain to you guys what I see. When I see a triangle, and I'm just going to be transparent with you guys. When I see a triangle, it's a sign of a relationship, like an infidelity or something, 3 parts of a relationship. Like there's one and there's 2 others. But I immediately tuned into it, and it looked like a prism to me. It looked like the Pink Floyd, the cover of the Pink Floyd thing. So, Robin, I will ask you if you're comfortable in front of a lot of people, and I always honor the spirit. Is there a possibility he's talking about the 3 relationship, meaning that there was 2 people and then a third one came in? Was there a third part to a relationship where there wasn't supposed to be?
You mean in his life?
In anyone, in the close circle of your lives?
Yes.
Okay. You want to leave it at that?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there was a lady that was there the night he died, but she didn't have any. She was kind of a new girlfriend, but she wasn't really a girlfriend.
But he was in another relationship?
Yes.
Okay. I love your son because he's very creative to me. And and again, he's making me go over the clothespin, the chips, and the exact specific chip that he showed me to kind of show you how strong he is. the train, the messages behind the train, his name, his full name, and his birthday. That's how strong he is able to bring these messages to you.
Hmm.
The full circle message of this triangle is and again, it's hard to put into human words, but there was this other person, right? But also the beauty of that album, which I don't know about, was very deep, right? Because we know in the 70s they got pretty deep for it's probably some of the things you just mentioned. And he's making me feel about the excuse me, the amount of peace that he is at given all the circumstances that happen. And then and he's even says to me, one may look at the circumstances and say, hey, how could you be at peace with some of these things? But he says, very much so. And I even though it's 8 months and you're doing amazing and you're beautiful, I feel like he makes me feel like you've really come a long way to kind of understanding some of this stuff. And I almost feel like your purpose was, here, I understand this. It maybe took about 6 months, but you're like, okay, I get this. And this is what I just have to do. And I feel like he wants to tell you he's proud of you, which is interesting from a son to a mom. But I wouldn't also be surprised, even based on your smile, that maybe you already knew that, felt it, or that you heard him or sensed that from him without me telling you that.
Well, I was just having coffee with a friend this afternoon and we were talking about that because she's a spiritual person as well. And we were talking about the fact that this was the plan, most likely, because of how he liked to try and expand his mind. And, so I think he's right where he wanted to be. But he didn't know he was going to die.
And I did
transition.
Yeah,
but.
and he's reaffirming that from the human level. That of course we all know on the soul level, but the human level, absolutely, he did not.
Yeah, no.
But he wants to go back. He keeps showing me popsicles, and he's kind of flashing all these things to me, like, Ma, you got to know that you took care of me as long as you could, as best you could. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you give yourself enough credit for that.
Okay.
He jokes to me around about how the batteries in your house like mess around, like the fire thing beeps or the remote thing changes. I don't know if you keep finding yourself, because he's laughing about the batteries and how you keep having to buy them, or something's happening electronically. And I don't know if he swears, because I'm not a swearer, but I'm really effing with you, Mom. And I don't know if he would say that, but like, and I love it. So he's making me feel how fun he is with messing with these electronics and the batteries. It looks like you understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, don't doubt that it's me. I think 95% of you knows it's him, but I'm here to make sure you know that it really is him. He does show me a clown. Are you being so okay? So he tells me a lot of his messages are going to be multi-layer, like the train, like the triangle with the perfectness with the rainbow and the Pink Floyd and the extra person. This one, what is it? Oh, he shows me a clown. Did he like The Simpsons? Because it looks like Krusty.
Yes.
Okay.
He loved The Simpsons.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's okay. So he just said, I didn't hear it, but I just like, wow, Mom, you have to know I enjoyed my life. I enjoyed a lot. I mean, because he makes me feel like he got it all in. So I don't know if he traveled a lot or he did what he wanted to, but he's like, in those 20 whatever years, he lived. And I feel like you're a lot responsible. I feel he's making me feel like you kept him on track, but you also gave him a little bit of a leeway, especially as during certain windows of time, because he's like, it's not as I got older, there was just certain periods of time where your soul knew that it was okay to loosen the leash a little bit, right, as he got a little bit older. And he makes me feel like he's very happy at the amount of experience he got to have in those years, and that you gave a lot to him from that.
Well, I didn't necessarily agree with his lifestyle, but I loved him right where he was at and knew that he was going to do what he needed or wanted to do. And he was an adult, so I didn't feel like I needed to try and control that. So,
but I would even say, even in his 12 to 15 or 18 to 20, as he still continued to get older, you loosen the leash a little bit, which makes me either feel like you were really strict when he was little, or you just felt, or you felt like his soul just needed to expand. But there's a huge thank you for being the type of mom that you are, that you are.
I appreciate it.
Is there another M in the family, like a Mark or a Maddie?
Maggie the dog.
It's weird.
Maggie the dog is that he found her. What?
whenever I see a dog, it's always a Yorkie. Not always, but a lot of the time, and it's a white Yorkie. So I don't know if yours is, or if I messed that up. Is the dog still here?
Yes, she's older and he's the one that found her when she was about a year old. So I really don't want her to go anywhere, but she probably will.
Yep. Okay.
Right?
Not only does she or he see him physically,
Yeah.
there'll be times where she barks or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like obviously him. Does she? Okay, I don't know. He showed me beer. Does Maggie drink beer, or is there someone in the house that drinks the beer?
He did. But I don't drink.
Yeah.
So Maggie doesn't drink.
It's okay. So so I'm trying, all I see is the can, but I know, but we're talking about the dog. So I'm trying to see where it, oh, did she find it or was he hiding it? Okay. I'm not going to get it. So the M is is there another M? Got to be close, not too far. And I'm assuming you're a drinker if I'm going down the right path, because the dog thing, yes, but if there's alcohol associated, there might be another M too. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to go back to the dog. I know you just said it, but you've kind of been hanging on to the dog, because I would almost say that the dog, just as much, if any person, is helping you hold on to your son's energy and spirit.
I think so. And I know she sees his energy. She feels his energy. I know that. So
I keep seeing the beer again. I mean, dogs don't usually drink beer. There must be another M who you're not thinking of, who might be the beer drinker when you can think about later.
okay. Yeah.
And I would a lot of times, a lot of children tell me to tell their parents that they want them to reach out to their friends and things like that, because, you know, to all the parents in here, you're the friend's parent, you know, who passed. And so that relationship often flourishes. I would say one of the most, I've done over 1,000 sessions with parents who've had their children transition. And one of the most common things they tell me is to reach out to their friends. I'll get a name of a friend who they want you to reach out. I don't know.
One of his best friends was named Morgan, but I don't know if Morgan drank beer or not.
I mean, to me, if one of the best friends is and now remember, there's 26 letters. I know M and J are one of the more common, and he makes me feel like there's a J too, of course, but John or something. But
Yeah.
Please know that those M and J are common, but there's still 26 letters. If that was one of his best friends, whether they drink or not, maybe you call them, and here's an example, and they say, "Oh, I just cheers them the other day," or every time I open a beer, I cheers to your son's name,
Perhaps. Yeah.
or Matthew. So it doesn't always have to be that. There's something with the beer. Maybe they just drink together all the time. It could be as simple as that, but don't overthink it. If that's the M name and that's one of his best friends, I would think he would want you to reach out to give him a call.
Okay.
Or her a call.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while, so yeah, I'll do that. I will do that. Yeah.
Are you I'll ask. Are you a Bible reader?
No, I'm not.
Have you ever been?
Yes, I was once.
Was he at all?
No. Maybe when he was really young, but not any time in the recent past.
I don't know Matthew 13. I don't know that verse. I know a lot of Matthew, but I don't really know even if there is a chapter 13. And I don't even know if there is one. But I would encourage you to, if you feel inclined to, and again, I try not to talk about religion because I'm open to whatever religion anyone believes, but you know, a lot of times in the West here, and I don't think it would hurt to re-engage spiritually, not religiously.
Yeah.
But to me, the Bible, the Bible's a book of love to me. It's not,
Yes.
to me, it's
I agree.
and it's a guide for me and some other people to help spread love and understand some of the divinity we come from. I feel like he's encouraging you to open that puppy back up.
Okay.
And let him guide you to some verses.
All right.
That's the parable of the sower who sows good seeds.
Oh,
Yeah.
parables. Okay, so let me ask you, Robin, do you volunteer? Are you someone who volunteers?
No, I'm in recovery. I do a lot of service work.
recovery, if you don't mind me asking, is?
Alcoholism.
Oh, okay. So there's a possibility you may have to reach out to the M name, because after Matthew passed, he may have started. I mean, I don't know, but okay. So this is all making sense. So I would take the message about the. Oh, so that's. Oh, there's even more to it. Okay, he's very multi-layered, which
Yeah.
the train, the triangle. Okay. So I have to. Sorry, but I'm honoring the spirit. Um, read. I would also talk about that verse, and I would say like a kind of like congratulations to you, not only for recognizing the problem, ceasing the problem, and then continuing. Because I don't know how long ago it was, but if it was more than 8 months ago, some people would go back, and I'm assuming you haven't. So I would say congratulations, and I almost feel like you were catapulted a couple months ago or sometime this summer, where you were like, you came this almost like epiphany, like, okay, I understand this is what I'm supposed to do. And I wouldn't be shocked that through your recovery that you counsel and you help other people with similar things. So, you continue to, reap what you sow, and you continue to help others. From what I've read and felt and been told from spirit, all the good deeds we do in this world are tenfold rewarded when we transition to the next phase of life. So keep up the good work is what I would tell you. Okay.
Thank you.
And how do you I'm going to word that? Okay. Softly. Just make sure you give yourself enough credit. And I'm talking all around. Okay. I'm just going to be specific. Saying drop the guilt around a lot of things. And it's a lot of different things. He's taking a circle and going, so it's about you, it may be about him, maybe your friend, more about you, but I feel like a lot of it's centered around you. But I don't want you to, in fact, I'm not big on Twitter, but I just felt saying, forgive yourself. And I want you to do that for everything, not just with him,
Okay.
for everything. And I think you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And we'll leave it at that. And thank you. And I really love this kid, because to me, it isn't often I get that they were able to get me the full name, the birthday, the clothespin which you use every day, the specifically that type of chip. I mean, he is that strong of a vibration, to be able to kind of convince you like, hey, wow. I mean, I don't think an average person can watch this and say, how was he not connecting to her son at that exact time with those exact things that he gave me? And just make sure he wants me to reiterate the last message of dropping the guilt in a lot of different areas. It may be good to go through a self-forgiveness exercise. You look like you kind of understand it, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
But he knows, and that's all it needs to know. And I think you're going to continue to grow and learn. And thank you for letting me bring him through. He's one of the strongest energies I've felt in a long time.
Well, thank you very much for bringing him to me. I appreciate it.
And then the last thing, he's talking about the rainbow, because he was telling me about the Pink Floyd thing and said, don't forget to say about the rainbow. So it's either something with Skittles or it's a literal rainbow. You understand? Looks like you understand.
He likes Skittles a lot.
That goes back to the fact of how well you took care of him and how happy he is with everything that happened.
Okay.
Literally. And I know sometimes that's a beautiful thing to hear, but sometimes tough to hear. But I'm hoping you know that he's in a great spot and he continues to see you grow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to go back to Q&A now, or?
I think there's one person that piggybacked pretty strongly. I think I saw something about January 3rd. Because guys, when I say 13, that could mean the 13th of the month, January 3rd, someone who's 13 years old, someone died 13 years ago, but something popped up in the chat about January 3rd.
That was Susan Matson.
Yeah, I feel
Do you
pretty
want
good.
to unmute Susan
Okay.
Matson?
Yes, I've asked her to unmute. Susan, can you speak, please?
Here we go. Can you hear me?
Hi, Susan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, January 3rd was my adopted son's birthday. He traveled by train across India to get to New Delhi, where my husband had flown to pick him up, to bring him home to the States. So yeah, he had two mums, his birth mum and me. So we lost him in 2015.
I'm sorry. Who's the R name like Ray? You can take your time. Robert, Raymond. He's got to be very close.
Don't know a Ray.
Ray, Ryan, Rebecca. It's definitely an R. A lot of times what they'll do is they mention people who stepped up for you when they passed away, or maybe it's his birth mom. Obviously it's not his name, but a lot of if they say it, I honor it. It also has to do with the 1-3, so that means it has to. What was the 1-3? What was the January 3rd?
His birthday.
He's their birthday. So
Yeah.
I would say it's someone close to him.
He had a really good friend, Ryan.
Oh, okay, perfect. Did I say Ryan?
Yeah, you mentioned Ryan as one.
And that was a very good friend.
Very good friend.
So, as I said earlier, a lot of times the souls of our loved ones will come through, especially children, to remind our parents that our friends need support from them too. So I'll ask you just a yes or no. Have you talked to Ryan?
Not lately.
So I'd
We
reach out.
message every now and then, but not lately.
So I'd reach out to him. I mean, if of all things, one of his good friends is named Ryan, and we said Ray, Ryan, then Ma, call him. Okay. What's up with the slinky?
He had a toy slinky. He had actually a number of them that would all get tangled up.
I feel and here I want to tell you thank you, because you gave him something that no one else gave him. I don't know what type of relationship you had, but I almost felt like you were supposed to know him. You said you were his
Adoptive mom. Yeah.
but more of a, not, I don't know if it's more of a mom, but it's a different type of mom that he ever could have imagined for. So you guys must have had a really neat relationship, is the word I get.
I thought it was. Yeah, he took his life in 2015.
I'm sorry.
Very suddenly, totally unexpected.
A similar message, it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. There's a big thank you for being who you are and who you were to him at the same time. I almost think you offered him something that no one else did. So I don't know if you guys, and I think you understand this. Maybe you talked about things that he didn't talk to anybody else about. You were that person for him. Did you not know him very long? But you
We had him 16 years.
Okay, so not the whole life, but long enough.
Yeah.
Too short for you, is what he's saying. Okay.
Yeah. We traveled a lot, had so many adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, he traveled a lot.
Who's the J like James or Jamie?
James is another best friend, another friend in Scouts. Yeah.
So to give credit to the energy, right? There's tens, 20, probably hundreds of thousands of names. If we get Ryan and James right off the bat, I would tell you to reach out to them and let him know, like, hey, I was able to tell him their names from over here. Ryan, not a super common name. James, if it's like Mike or Joe or whatever, Robert, but Ryan, James, and I think we said both those names specifically. That's how powerful he is. He also talks about you with the rainbows as well. How do you understand the rainbow? Did you get it the day he passed?
A friend the day after sent me a photo of a very rare fire rainbow that appeared over where his brother lives. And we have that. I have a photo of that.
It makes you smile because you think of him.
Yeah, my response was he turned to light and color.
Perfect.
His Indian name means ray of light. So rainbows.
I never get dragonflies ever. I don't think they've ever come through for me. And I don't know if you see them or think of them, but I would keep an eye out for one. There's something
all the time. All the time.
Perfect.
Yeah, they turn up all the time.
So I watch other mediums and they get dragonflies all the time. I've never gotten one until now. So if you get them, he's that strong to let you know that he's with you during those times, and it's me. So is it correct that you are married to his father?
No, he that's hilarious. Peter had an Indian father, and it took him a considerable amount of time to comprehend that. He automatically assumed, having been brought home from India by Alan, my husband, his adoptive dad, that he just made that association that he was his dad.
So I'm a little confused, but that's okay. Are you married, if you don't mind me
Yes.
asking?
Yeah.
Now, to your son, that was his dad?
Yeah, he thought he wasn't just his adoptive dad, but his actual biological dad.
Okay. So the amount of love there was there for him to tell you this message. I feel like you've done a lot for, what did you say your husband's name was?
Alan.
I feel like you've done a lot for him and you've been a constant support through all of the ups and downs with him. And he kind of wants to thank you for being there for dad.
Okay.
You understand
Yeah.
that? You almost keep him running. You're the gas to his, engine,
Somehow, when each of us are falling apart, the other one's together. So, yeah, we carry each other.
Is it a crunch bar? I think I'm seeing Rice Krispies, but they look like a crunch bar, or it's a Rice Krispie treat. It's a crisp rice snack. Is the best way I can see it.
Granola bars.
It doesn't look like that though. It looks more like a crunch. Well, is it a chocolate granola bar? Because that's the only way I would accept it.
Yeah, he never went without, and we found out through middle school, he'd come shopping with us, and it would be, oh, Mum, I get so hungry at lunch. Well, we found out at the end of the year when I emptied his bag, he had 6 packs of them. He was selling them to the kids and the teachers.
Oh my God. So this is kind of a similar message I gave that Matthew gave to his mom, Robin, is that, I lived it up and I did everything I wanted to do. And I also feel like you were also a part of that. That message was for you too. Your son was piggybacking on that as well. Do you have his ring? Now, usually when I talk about rings, it's usually a mother to a son, or the mother's in spirit, or it's the grandmother. But I got to talk about the ring. It's very important.
His last Christmas, we gave him a Lord of the Rings ring. And it's upstairs in his bedroom. He was a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
So again, spirit being full circle, rings. Okay. Is his room like still his room?
Yes. We
I
changed it out a little bit, but it's still his room with all his things.
And that's okay. It doesn't matter what anyone, and for everyone on here, no one knows what it's like to go through what you've gone through unless you've gone through it. And you are your only one in your situation who's gone through it. And you all have a common thing that you've gone through. But no matter what anyone else says or does, you do what you feel in your heart you want to do.
That's what we're doing.
Christmas, a big deal, or the holiday season, that kind of December time.
Yeah.
Tough every year. There's okay. Thank you. Kyle, Carly, Kenny. I would say it's a K. Usually C's and K's come through together. I want to say Kylie or Kaylee.
I'd need to think about that one.
I would say it's someone related, actually. Cousin, aunt, Kyle.
Hey, there's an Auntie Kay in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Is that related to someone who he knew?
Yes. Yeah, he met her. Gosh, I believe. Yes, he did meet her.
Is she energetic or positive?
Yeah.
Positive?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if she was able to channel him a little bit, actually, because of her vibration.
Okay.
Where did you say she was?
She's in New Zealand, which is where I'm from.
Well, do you know why he'd show me a shamrock or a 4-leaf clover?
I went through a phase of finding them in our backyard at our old house.
After he passed?
No, before, when he was young. I'd go out, look down, and there would be one. They're stashed in a book somewhere upstairs.
So did you share that with him?
Oh, yeah, we'd bring them in and count them up.
Okay. Do you see the way you smile during those memories? So when you watch this back, the amount of times you smiled is how much he wants you to smile. Because A, you mean the world to me. And because remember, we don't, kind of what Jesus, regardless of religion, taught us, we don't die. We still exist somewhere. We prove it every medium proves that every time they come on here, especially with Mark certification, they can communicate with us, and it's a beautiful thing. And when we're grieving, we have difficulty connecting with them. That's why people like me exist, and why God blessed a lot of people like mediums that can bring this beauty to you and everyone here, because everyone watching wants a session or a reading themselves, but watching just you two get to be able to connect to your loved ones helps
Yeah.
every single person in here, 180
Yeah.
people. So
No.
he wants to remind you to make sure you keep smiling. And I would also tell you, someone toasts to him. He talks about the toasting or the drinking. Someone like toasts to him. You may not know who it is. I don't know if it's not you. It doesn't look like you. But I almost feel like someone keeps his spirit alive by every time they drink or open something, they do it. And it's someone who does it almost every single time. I don't know if it's
Wouldn't
dad.
surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
So I don't know if it's dad or a friend, but it's very consistent. He wants to thank them, because don't forget, everyone, our loved ones appreciate the little gestures we do, whether it's a thought or a place at the table or a candle or whatever. Very thankful for keeping his spirit alive.
He lets us know he's around by playing with the lights, the laptop. We've had odd knocks on the door. You go and there's no one there, but the cat comes in. Well, the cat can't exactly knock at the door. So
You know, the last thing he wants to talk about is, and I can't understand this, but he's talking about your hair, and he almost makes me feel like you've missed appointments or something. You go to get your hair done, and then you get canceled, or then you go to get your hair done, and then it doesn't end up the way you want. But he's joking about your hair and your hair appointments. Do you understand this?
well, I didn't get my hair done for a very long time, through COVID and then other stuff, and I finally got it done. Thought about going, platinum, and the gal cut my hair, and there it was without any dye or anything. So, yeah, and I was thinking the other day I really need to go get it done again.
Okay. So that to me is, obviously I'm with you, Mom, during that experience, but, to everyone in here. And I find that during these like helping parents heal and organizations like this, it's often a message for everyone. And that often is a credit to the spirit. So he was probably a very helpful, giving person to a lot of people. And
He was.
yeah. And so he makes me feel, to remind you all, from all of your loved ones in spirit, from all of us, that they want nothing more than for us to get back to our normal everyday lives and enjoy the things that we enjoyed when they were physically here. Getting your hair done, cooking, listening to music, and we're all in our own grieving process, no matter who we've lost. And it's up to each of us to grow as we grow. But the number one thing I feel like Spirit often tells me is to take care of yourself and have fun and smile and sing, because you're going to be with them soon. We're going to be them before we even know it. We're all going to be there, and we get to be with them. But at least we are now with them, but we recognize that we're with them. And we wake up and realize that we've never been without them. And so continuing to do things like you specifically, Susan, everyone else here, the things, get your hair done, go out to dinner. And it's gotta be difficult, but the more we can do that, I think the more we honor them. So if you go get a massage, don't feel guilty. Your loved one in spirit wants you to. You want to go buy yourself something, a new iPad, but you feel guilty having it because they're not here to celebrate it with you. They want you. They are with you. They do see you, and they feel your happiness. That's why he mentioned the smile. All the smiles that you had makes me feel like that was well needed for you to experience that. And the reunion between you and your son, a lot of people, as I watch them, they're all smiling too and very happy for you. Of course, there's a part of them that wants their own person to come through, like all of us do, but they also celebrate in the love and the reunion that you get to have with your son as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Last thing, do you have his hats?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There's a white hat or something that's either really clean or really new. So I don't know if you've kept it new or whatever, but he's talking about the new or the clean or the white hat. So, keeping.
He has so many hats.
And you've kept them all.
Oh, they're all up there in his room.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anyone else says, or even if that's where you want to keep the hats, that's where you keep the hats. Because some people would say, oh, you got to move on. That's what you want to do, then that's what you do. So
no, we have them all.
Yep. So that's just supporting you, and thank you for keeping my spirit alive.
Okay. Thank you.
one last thing he says I missed, sorry, is Christmas. What are you seeing with Christmas? Do you have now this is probably common for a lot of people, but do you do the same thing every Christmas?
Pretty much.
How long is it, if you don't mind me asking, how long has it been since he's passed?
We're at 6 years. It'll be our 7th Christmas without him.
He makes me feel, and I guess this is common sense, of a continual change. But this year, I feel like there's going to be, you're going to be at the point where you just know he's with you this year. I don't know if he's going to make it obvious to you, but this is going to be one of the most beautiful, good feeling Christmases in probably 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Because part of this is part of it from him, but also he's going to be able to connect with you on a level where you just know he's there, and you're going to celebrate with him and smile and laugh and have drinks and enjoy and celebrate and smile. And he goes, your hair will be done before then. Don't worry. And I will honor you, and I will say this. I think I'm going to say this. Your husband will very much like your hair the next time you do it. Let me just put it that way. So he will like it.
All right.
Sometimes they tell me things, yeah. So please know that, and keep each other afloat, right? Keep doing what you're doing with the balancing with each other.
Yeah.
And thank you for letting me bring him through.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're down to about 12 minutes before you need to put a wrap on things, Daniel. Do you want to see if you get another person touching in, or ask Q&A, or just sit for a second and see what happens?
Yeah, let me read the chat. So a lot of piggybacking here. Yeah, there's going to be things like rings. Who doesn't have rings, right? But when it's special and this Lord of the Rings and you still have them and you loved it, those are the times of the specifics where it trumps the, blanket messages. When you get the clothespin, how many people use a clothespin to close their chips? I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe a handful. But then when the spirit is able to give a specific type of chip, like out of all chips, there's hundreds of bags of chips, but that's the kind she eats. It's that validation to let you know that they're with us. There's two energies like, oh, Matthew 13:13. Here is why I use stories when I speak to people so much. I say they look, but they don't really see. I've read that verse recently. They listen, but they don't really hear or understand. That's a great verse too. Matthew 13:13. And that's, there's no mistake. That was his birthday, and that's what he used to come through. I'm just reading through some of these. I gotta ask, is there a Pedro? There's two energies like messing with me. One is a specific letter that's pretty common. And then there's Pedro. I keep hearing Pedro. I'll have to look down at the chat. And you also connect with a 13. But it's got to be Pedro. Can't, because P, you get a Paul, Patrick.
If anyone can take that, please type it in the chat.
Someone wrote Napoleon Dynamite. Pedro is my uncle. Andrea, is he passed, if you don't mind me asking?
No, he's still here.
No, he's not. Okay. No, I feel like this is someone who's passed. Let me know if a new comment comes. I'm going to go through some of these.
Okay.
They're talking about smoking.
Anna.
Anna, is your dad in spirit?
Yeah, Anna Moreno is your dad in spirit. Okay, why don't we bring Anna?
Sure.
Yes, okay.
Anna, I've asked you to unmute. Can you speak, please?
Yes.
Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Hi, Anna. And I can't see you, but sorry for the loss of your dad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Was your dad a smoker?
No.
Okay, who's the smoker?
My son was
Is he? I'm just gonna write this down. I probably should ask who the T name is. What was your son's name?
Jacob.
Jay, like Jacob?
Jacob.
Okay. Who's the T in spirit as well for you? Tina, Tino, Tito, Teresa.
I don't recall the T.
Well, when you do, there is a T along with the smoker. Now, you said your son was a smoker?
Yeah, he's like organic.
Okay. This is going to be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to say it anyway. How do you connect either with the St. Louis Cardinals or the Cardinals, the Red Bird? And I can see it clear as day. So I'm hoping you can understand that.
Mm,
Is there someone from St. Louis?
Did Pedro Martinez ever play for the Cardinals?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think so, actually. But why would they go there? Thank you, Marcus.
Maybe they're a fan of that
Yeah,
player and team.
maybe. Yeah, this is going to be okay. I'm going to do the best to give you the message. I'm getting something about Cardinals. There's something about the smoking, and there's something about no regrets. I feel like this is going to be one of those things I just give him without validation. So hopefully you can take this. There's something about no regrets. It's very important. I hear the words no regrets. So please know that. I think that's from your son. There's something about the popsicle without the wrapper. So I could almost see like the popsicles, but there's no popsicle in it. There's something about the popsicle, and it's kind of it's something along the lines of, okay, maybe you can validate this. Was there a period of time in your life where you were physically or emotionally separate from your son?
no, no.
Did he go to college?
Yes, I did. But I mean, just here in South Carolina when as an adult.
That's okay. I'm just gonna say this then. It makes me feel about a separation, a period of time where there's no guilt associated with it. I don't know if you worked a lot or he worked a lot or whatever, but I want to take you to let you know that there's a little bit of guilt from the lack of being together all the time, or the separation, or it could be emotional or physical. And there's a feeling of the acceptance. It could be for your husband or his dad. I don't know, but I feel very strongly that there's a dropping of guilt from the separation. Does he have a sister?
Yes, my daughter.
I don't know if he said Margarita like the drink, or her name is Margarita, or she's
Margarita is my middle name, and I have an aunt that passed away last year in Indiana.
named Margarita.
Yes.
Okay, well, she's there too. That's great. That doesn't happen very often. Okay. And then the smoking thing is important. So how do you want me to word that? The Cardinals coming up again, the Red Bird. So make sure you talk to the family about the Red Bird. I don't know if this is your son's personality. Maybe you can validate it. Was he the type of person in a nice way to do what he was going to do no matter what anyone else said?
Yeah.
I can almost hear like the Frank Sinatra song, I Did It My Way. So please know throughout his life that he was going to do what he was going to do, and it wasn't going to change. And there's nothing that could have changed that. I wouldn't even be surprised if the sister was the one who had it's either you, the husband, or the dad, or the sister that has the guilt about the separation. So please make sure that person knows to drop the guilt.
My ex-husband, his dad, he committed suicide last year in January.
I'm sorry for your loss. I do feel like this is from your son was to someone who's living, however. So there's someone in the earth who has some guilt for not spending as much time with him. And he's very adamant to let them know to not have that guilt. Did you move around a lot,
Uh,
or did he
I
move?
know, from different houses, yeah, like 4 times here in this area.
There's you have faith though, correct?
Yes.
There's something about keeping your faith even though you've gone through and have had a lot of loss. And it's almost like the hits keep coming, but you hang on to that thread of faith. You understand that?
Yes.
So I missed the message. So when I told you about the move, it's when I see pinball. It's for some reason the ball's going all over. It's my symbol for someone who moves a lot. Please know that. Okay, so it's the same message to kind of remind you of God's plan, and that it's all perfect all the time, no matter what. Whether you like it, understand it, there's a divine, perfect plan that's happening, and I think He wants to kind of remind you of that. I think you kind of need reminding of that. You understand?
Yeah.
There's also a little something about your hair as well. And how do you want me to word it? Almost like the same kind of message, like go get it done, or you deserve that. You deserve getting out and going to your hairdresser and getting your hair done. I would assume based on that message you haven't done that. No offense,
Yeah.
but He makes me feel like get your ass out there and schedule that appointment and make make you feel good. So it's important for you to do that because He makes me feel like you're the rock for the family. You understand this?
Yes.
Other people depend on you. And Jesus talked about building the house on rock instead of sand. And to me, you're that rock. So take care of you so you can help others. Put the mask on the airplane on yourself before you, so you're better equipped to help others. You understand this?
That's right.
And He gives you a thumbs up. I don't know if he was a thumbs up kind of guy, but Spirit will sometimes do that if it was their personality, or sometimes they do it just to thank me. I don't know if he was that type of guy, but I think that was kind of and I know we're coming up on the time here. Well, let me ask you, because they do that once in a while. Was he a thumbs up kind of guy or no?
We kind of do this,
I don't see you. Sorry. I don't even
like
know what.
both thumbs at the same time. He do it.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, see, I didn't see you the whole time. Oh, he would do that.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Why is he showing me Frosty? I know we're at 8:45, so let's just finish this. Why is he showing me frosted flakes? So I don't know if it's something with Tony the Tiger or Frosted Flakes. I can actually see the Frosted Flakes box.
Well, I ate a lot of frosted flakes that my husband brought. A lot. I got crazy about eating the frosted flakes because it's been a long time. I don't know. If that's...
Wait, so you used to get Frosted Flakes all the time? You don't have them anymore?
No. It's been a long time since I tried that. And then my husband came with a big box of cereal, the little packs, and all I ate was the frosted flakes with the tiger.
When was this?
That was about 2 months ago.
Okay, so this is his way to
I
let
ate
me.
them all.
Okay, this is a two-part message. One, I'm with you, and I'm watching you, and I would say to you that you enjoyed them so much.
Yes,
that you
yes.
should get more and treat yourself and smile and have fun. Okay, so this kind of, and again, I would also say that your son was also someone who helped other people and was looking out for other people, because that message is to the group. Don't forget to take care of yourself and enjoy Earth while you're here. We all came to experience it. Unfortunately, in this group, we've gone, this group has gone through a similar experience that no one wants to go through. But their biggest wish in spirit, they tell me this all the time, is for you to go enjoy yourself. Go buy more of those Frosted Flakes. You don't have he's telling me you don't have a sugar problem, so you're good. Go ahead, you can have it, enjoy it. Some of us can't have that, but you can enjoy it, and please know he's with you. There also is a message. Does your husband take care of you? Like pretty well, takes care of you like a queen, or like you'd be lost without him, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So he knows that. Make sure you thank Dad for that. To me, I don't know if him and his dad had a real manly relationship, but it's not too sappy. It's like, tell Dad thanks. Like, all right, tell
Yeah,
Dad.
yeah.
Not like hug and kiss like he would to you. It's more like manly. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, Dad, for taking care of Mom. One last thing. Now a lot of us probably do. but do you hold stress in your neck and shoulders? So he wants you to get a massage. Go treat, you know how you should have a day. Go buy some Frosted Flakes, go get a massage, go do your hair, and treat yourself. And it'll be a great day, but make sure you take care of those shoulders and neck, because he wants to. I wouldn't even be shocked if you feel some warmth, and that's him, because he always took care of you, right? Your son did too, or looked after you. Ma, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So he's continuing to do so. So make sure you get that stress out of your neck and continue to take care of yourself.
Thank you.
And he just joked with me, and he said, and I'm still smoking. So it must have meant that you didn't like that, or it was a big deal. Did you not like him smoking?
He like organic cigarettes.
But he's still he wants, almost like, I did it my way, I'm going to do it my way. And if I want
Yeah, yeah, he still do, yeah.
and he's still doing it, and that's okay. And he goes, because here it doesn't matter, he says. It's really funny. And please know he's in a very good place. His energy feels really, really good. And he just surrounded me with everyone. There's like 20 to 25 people, your family and friends, that are with him. He makes me feel like you have a lot of people over there.
Yeah,
And they're having a ball.
I do. Yeah.
So, you know, whatever, however they're doing it, they're having, you know, they're great, and they're together.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me bring through your son.
Thank
Thank you,
Amazing.
Daniel. Appreciate the work tonight.
Yes,
Had
thank
some
you
great
so
messages
much.
here, and I think there's a lot of healing that took place.
Yes. And Mark, I allow everyone to unmute to say thank you and good night. So if you'd like to unmute and thank Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. What an amazing evening.
Thank you, Daniel. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel, so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
It was really awesome.
Thank you so much.
Daniel, you helped
Thank
us so
you.
much.
Thank you.
You're the
Thank
best.